Here we have a game called Knockoff, the executive trivia game. This game sounds like absolutely no fun at all, so I'm going to leave this here. Here we have the moment of truth. Can you and your friends survive the truth? Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to leave this here. Games that cause tension and problems, not my cup of tea. Well, I found a Green Lantern game last week. Here's another one. This is the Force of the Ring game. Looks interesting, but it's missing some parts, so I'm going to leave this back on the shelf. Here is Cranium Scribble. We actually have this game. It plays a little like Telestrations. I'm going to leave this here. It doesn't really sell for that much. Here we have Apples to Apples, the Party Box. Definitely a fun game, and we have this game. But unfortunately, it doesn't really sell for that much, so I'm going to leave this here too. Here's a unique game called ArmchairQuarterback. If you actually love to watch football, this is a game you can actually play while you're watching the game, which is pretty cool. But we don't really watch football that much, so I'm going to leave this here. Here we have Trivial Pursuit, Triple the Fun for Everyone. I actually used to own this game, and I sold it over Christmas, but it's not going for much now, so I'm going to leave it. So I'm over here at a place called the Hobby House, and they sell a lot of mainstream board games. This is their shelf of the games that are on sale. They usually go for eBay prices and sometimes lower, so let's just see what we can find over here. Here's a game called Peak Poker Hold'em. This is sealed, and they want like $3 for it, but it doesn't really go for much, and I've got a game that plays like this, so I'm going to leave this here. Here's a card game called Attica. Now, I've actually been looking for this because it was made from the same guys that made the set game. They want $7 for this, so I'm going to go ahead and get it. It's a sealed copy. Here's a game called Overdrive Arena. It looks pretty cool. I think they want about $20 for it. I'm not going to pick it up, but if anyone knows anything about this game, feel free to give me a shout out. Here's a game called Circus, the captivating game of stars and shapes. We have some games that kind of play like this, like Locust, so I think I'm going to leave this here. Here's a unique game. I think this is a tile or dice game called Jurassic Juggling. Another game that looks interesting, but it's a little bit too high priced for my taste, so I'm going to leave this here. Here's another game on sale called Boomtown. I don't know much about this game. I think they want $20 for it. But again, if anyone knows anything about this game, let me know. Here's a game from the 3M Bookshelf series called Image. I have a lot of 3M Bookshelf games. This particular one doesn't really sound that interesting to me, so I'm going to leave this here. Here's a game I've never heard of called the Omega Expedition. I think in this one you're kind of searching for biblical artifacts. From the reviews I've read, it's not that good a game. The components look nice, but I'll leave it here anyway. Here is an older version of the card game Phase 10. I think this one's missing a few cards, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it, but we have this game anyway. Here we have Jenga Max. This is an interesting version of Jenga that I've never heard of. It's got some different contraption that you stack on. It's missing some parts though, so I'm going to leave this one here too. Here we have Wheel of Fortune game, the 2nd edition. If you like Wheel of Fortune, these are pretty cool games, but the deluxe edition is much better. I'm going to leave this one here since it's not deluxe. Here we have Monopoly Here and Now. They have an electronic version of this one too, and that version goes for some money. This one doesn't, so I'm going to leave this one here too. Here's the amazing Labyrinth. We actually have the original Labyrinth game, and it's the same as this one. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up and just see if maybe I can sell it for a little bit of something. Here we have Electronic Mall Madness. As usual, this game is missing some parts, and there's only one version of this game that actually sells for any money, and this one isn't it, so I'm going to leave it. Well, guys, that does it this session. Ended up only finding a couple of games out of many, and that's cool. I'm looking forward to trying out Attica. That was a game I've been kind of looking for. A few of these games I think I'm going to check out and get a little bit more information on, and hopefully that store will bring the prices down a little bit more. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, that does it for me this session. We'll see you next time. Take care.